Hey, so today, fantastic. Um, that's an understatement, really. Uh, God just blows my mind all the time, especially like today, a day that I didn't deserve it. Um, not saying that I don't deserve it at all, ever, and I don't want future Daniel or future Daniel's wife or future Daniel's kids to ever think that I think right now that I deserved it, or ever deserve for God to reveal Himself to me. But today is one of those days that I definitely did not deserve it. And He did. He showed up, like, obviously He showed up. Yeah. I very thankful. Today I woke up and I went to work, and I went and bought a textbook, and it ended up being the wrong textbook, which sucked. And then it was okay. And then I went to class. I went to my next. Oh, I went to class. My macroeconomics teacher again put up more Bible verses on the screen, and it blows my mind. Like, Solomon. He put up Solomon speaking. Oh my gosh. So awesome. I love that. Love that. And then I went to my next class, stayed awake the whole time, which was great. So good. Human geography, I learned some today. And then I went back to work. And work was fantastic. And then I met with Eric. We were supposed to have Bible study, but no one showed up. And so we didn't have Bible study. We just met. And then went back to worked. And I went back to the apartment, hung out with Ben, Bear, and Jenny just for a split second. Then I left to pick up Jala. And Jala and I went to crew. And I was very frustrated to pick up Jala, to be honest, because I didn't know that I was going to until like 5 minutes beforehand. And I was like, ah, but it turned out super great. And Ben said he was going to pray for me. And I love that. I do. And then, at crew, so good. So good. So good. The guy taught out of Psalms, and it was David saying how God knows everything about him and knows all of his thoughts and made him, and everything, and just everything, and it made me evaluate things, like tomorrow. I had made plans that I knew were going to put me in a spot of temptation, that I don't need to be in. I'm not saying that I will give in to that temptation or anything, but knowing that I will be put in a spot where I'll be tempted is not good for me to just be like, oh yeah, blah, blah. Especially with like sexual temptation. Like, that's not good for me to put myself in. Not, again, not sex or anything like that, but things that aren't glorifying to God anyways. And I knew the whole time that this girl that I had planned to hang out with things would probably start to head down that way, and I'd be very tempted to fall into it. But thinking like, oh, I'm not going to. But knowing, having the thoughts of what happened if I fell into it, and this is me being super honest right now, this is kind of weird. Not weird, but it's just like very deep. Knowing, like thinking through what if I did get into it and like how great that sounds. Knowing that that's not at all what needs to happen and not at all what's going to happen. And God knowing all of these thoughts of mine, so that made me really think about that. And then Andrew called, Andrew Nunn, and I was like, hey man, what'd you think about the sermon? And that blew my mind, like, this guy I've known for a week now, who I can already tell is going to be one of my best friends of all time, called and we talked out the sermon for like 30 minutes. And like, I told him what I just said and he told me some things and it was just like, wow, God, you're so awesome. You're blowing my mind. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, God. Like, I'm thanking you right now. Thank you. Wow. And then Jala and I went to neighborhood market and just had a good time just talking about girls. Like, this girl that he likes, and like, it's such a good, like, simple conversation, and I loved it. And then saw his apartment just for a split second, and it's such a good day. Yeah. I'm gonna call Lauren now. Good night.